We never talk about relationship dating, but it's been a big topic, and we're going to be here to talk about how Hmong men. So just to give us a Hmong men gathering, talk about relationship and dating, and join us. Feel free to throw us any questions. A lot of the Q&A is going to be happening at the end. I like to keep everything in hours of the wrap. And today's guests, actually, we have two gentlemen today. We have Koo and we have Waterboy. Welcome, gentlemen.
What's up, man? Let's go.
Let's go. Both from the Midwest. Koo is actually one of my Fridays day trader friend. We talk about day trading, about forex and crypto. And then Waterboy, an acquaintance I met recently too. These gentlemen's been divorced and been on their own journey. Today's topic going to be more like a relationship about modern dating, interracial dating as well too. They're going to talk about a little about their past as well too. So again, welcome, gentlemen. Let's get started.
All right. You want us to talk about our history
Oh,
first?
yeah, I like to bring that up, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's start with cool first, and we'll talk to Waterboy. 'Cause as far as you know, you recently been divorced. About 2 years now. Um, the women you met, you were just so rushed to just wham bam bam, thank you, ma'am, and the time you know it, she has a kid. You never took the time to really get to know who she was, personality wise. I'm speculating here. That's why we're here. That's probably why it led to your relationship ending without even getting to know each other at all. Too, right, Koo?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like it's like this stage, right? Like you meet and then you greet each other and then you end up, not the greatest thing, right? You meet and then you end up meeting at the bar, and then it ends up being, a one night hit, one night stand. And then, a few weeks later she's pregnant, and then the hard part is, she was going through her divorce at the time, finalizing her divorce. She has my first kid, but she was already previously married. So we never really got the chance to dive down deep on understanding, our differences, right? What are different our history from the past, and how can we cooperate and communicate better to build, our relationship along with our kids. But we just became parents, and within the 6 years, you're like, wow, like I barely know who this person is, even though I'm with them, right? I'm with her. We have two daughters, and I was raising her stepdaughter when she was one. And so the biggest challenge for me was, as a man, taking upon, someone that was already divorced, already has a kid, you like, I never was married before, and now I already put myself on the pedestal on the situation, on the spotlight, and saying, you know what, I have to step up. I have to be a father. I have to be a husband, and I'm taking her in, considering her that she's going to be my wife. And throughout the 6 years, it's just been a tough roller coaster ride. And my biggest issue for me was I didn't take the time to learn for myself. But I also, instead of communicating, right, I had a history of, coping with alcohol, and that was another issue for me as a man, for not being right, showing your vulnerability, not, expressing what you really want in your true emotions. And it's hard as a man to really be vulnerable with their spouse, right, with their wife or their girlfriend, with their partner, and say that, you know what, I'm really going through a really rough situation at this time. All the other things are added on. And and so things were just like on a turmoil halfway through the third and fourth year, and things just went south from there. And it goes a long ways, especially for the men that, have taken the chance, right, and the opportunity to really bring themselves back up and revive themselves along, whether they're still in the relationship or out of the relationship. And so, after my divorce, it was tough, right? It's tough to learn to forgive yourself, learn to move on, learn to let go of what you can't control anymore. You can only control yourself. And fast forward now, I am seeing someone, but we're just friends. And and another thing is that last year I put my faith in God. I started putting more my service and time into church more, and just going out there and just doing the best positive influence and positive vibes with my friends and families along the way. So yeah, it's just a short story, but like I said, I know we don't really have that much kind of time on this show, so I unless you have any more
I,
questions you want to ask.
well, I'm glad that you're conscious about your alcohol usage, which could lead both ways. Some people, when they drink, they get angry, they get rage, and some don't. But I'm glad you're conscious of yourself, that you're gonna work on yourself, hit the gym, work
Right.
on your purpose, focus on your business, focus back on your day trading, and focus on yourself, especially in time for your daughter. uh Waterboy here, slightly different story, but also divorced with two kids. How that came about?
Oh man, it's like when you were growing up, you thought that you would have done well like that. You're being young and being 24. I was ready for this, and being young and dumb, and you just don't really get to know her. We got married within like 6 months, and then and you grew up seeing your parents always working. So that's like, all right, now I'm married. I'm taking the duty of the man of the house. So you're working and you do two jobs and just constantly working and building up your house, and then that stuff happens, and I guess you just don't see what you're doing for them, when you're trying to build a future for yourself. And for her, like, it's like we were growing up to where we're work and we make our money so we can buy a house or something. But after that we had two kids, and then she left us after we had our second kid. He was like 6 months, and then it happened so fast. But it got to the point where when she's like, "I'm leaving you," I'm like, "Okay, I'm cool." It was like you just give up. Like, I'm tired of fighting and everything. But it's just that I wanted my boys, and it was just it got hard in life. Being a single parent, you never thought about ever being a single parent, and you just like, especially for us guys, like, you never thought that you would ever raise two boys, two little kids by yourself, and without your family is helping, you just doing it. But it's just that what you do, you always have hope. Like for me, I got to the point where I have to believe in hope, and with hope, anything can happen. And just me having hope with raising my kids, thinking about my future, always having that hope for that future of what we could be. That's where he got me to this day. He got me to move on in my life. He got me to move on to where I'm at today, where I'm standing strong with my two boys are 9 and 11. Look to that. I'm that, and just right now, it took me a while just to like actually get back into the dating scene because it's hard. Because you don't have time, and you always worry about your kids, and you're always thinking about them. But it's just that it is always hard to getting the healing part. Like I said, it's like a lot of people, guys, we're emotions. We hide our emotions a lot, hard to the point where we don't show it. But it takes a toll on you when you just keep on doing it. It just happened to me. I had to change my life and everything. Yeah, I'm glad I met a bunch of group of strangers who became my friends and showed me the way of life. Taught me to be just not to lock yourself in and live life. Be free again. You just because it happened to you once, it won't happen. Like, go out and go try again. Because I can tell you the truth, when the day when she left my parents' house, I told my parents I'll never ever date. I'll never marry again. Shoot, it was crazy. But it was like, now there's hope. I have hope, and I finally got to the point to be at ease to see that not all girls are the same. Not all ladies out there are all the same. Everybody is different, and they're not all the same because they all don't have the same intentions. And You know, you do what you do. You know,
You, no, cool. You know, he, as you mentioned, you seek God for better health in yourself and back working out and stuff. For you, Waterboy, did you get any therapy when after your relationship failed?
I just like I said, I met a group of friends, a group of strangers, just on Facebook group, and we went on these late night chats and just hop on, and we, everybody was talking, and we just started opening up, and it came to from a group of strangers to be a group of friends because we finally found each other to saying that no one judges for what we do or what we said or who we were from our past. We're all there to heal each other and be friends and be there for one another. And that's where you're finally healed. Where, you see from the side a lot of point of view after that. You're not alone. Every time when we're during a situation like that, you always be like, damn, I'm always alone. There's no one there to understand me. But now that I figured from them, they opened me up and see what I did, and they finally opened my eyes to see that okay, it was my fault, and it's just stop blaming ourselves, and it's time to let go and to move on with the future. You just can't let it be like a ball and chain and hold you back and slow you down in your life. You have to let it go. What happened in the past, it happens. Okay, now we gotta live the present, and we gotta look forward for the future. So just can't let that ball and chain slow us from getting to where we want. You know. So that's where I'm at, where I'm following my hope. I believe in hope. There's always hope for better days. And, I always have my friends with me, from strangers to friends,
You guys are back single again, and Koo said, Koo's talking to somebody, and Waterboy too. I mean, how is it now? And I want to go back to what kind of Maya said. That's tough. It's tough either way, male or female at this age. Some people have a lot of expectation from the other person, and let's just talk about dating. Uh, Hmong women, or if not, we're talking about interracial too now. Because Ku said you're open to date not just Hmong but other as well too. So what's your experience? And maybe again, Waterboy too. You've been single for a while because you've been hesitant about even dating again. So what's your experience now? Are you gonna no? I'm not getting ever gonna talk to a Hmong girl, or is it gonna give you a bad taste to it now, or what?
I mean, at first I was like that, but I mean, I'm open. Like I said, I believe that all ladies are not the same. So it's like I'm opening up more just to. It's like you have to look more, look deeper, and just not to understand them more instead of just I, every girl they show you attention, you want to give it to her. Like, no, it's just you have to look because now you have to look like, all right, I have kids, I have baggage, and she's gonna love me as I love my kids. Like you have questions you have to do, and it's like, do I want to introduce her to my kids right away? And it's a lot of things. So it's like it's scary, but you always have to put yourself out there, and like nowadays they don't really look at guys who have as old as we are and with kids. Like, but I have a hope. I do.
How about yourself?
One day.
How about yourself, Cool?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm open to all options. The biggest point is that for me, I don't want to put myself in the same position or the same situation that has happened to me, 7 years ago with me and my ex. And you know, I understand that when you're bound to meet, when I'm about, when you're meeting, for as men, right, meeting other ladies, right, and most times, right, we're meeting them at either at the bars, at the clubs, you know. Very rare do we ever like. If I'm going to the gym, I'm not looking to go meet some girl at the gym, right? I mean, I've talked to a few ladies over there, or me going attending church as well, and so when we're both adults, right? Obviously, sex is going to come into play. The biggest question is at this point, right? Now that if sex is involved, where does the other parts of the relationship stand, right? From the communication, having that deeper understanding and deeper level of intimacy with each other, and understanding that when the tough times and the rough situations hit, right, or even just a small little debate, can can change the impact of the relationship. And I that's why I didn't express a little bit. I didn't express too much of what I did during my time, being single. I did take a marriage counseling program. I did a couple of therapy sessions on understanding, some of the weaknesses I have, some of the strengths I've had, and what are some things that I could improve on if I were to hop on to the next relationship. And then, to go back into seeking God, how I seek God is is um is very, very, crazy, right? I drank to a point where I had my handgun you know to my head, and I was ready to pull the trigger. And this was the summer of 2021. And I just remember blacking out, waking up, and looking at the I had a cross in the living room, a cross symbol, and that's what I saw. And from that day forward, that's when I started seeking God. Yeah. So back to the options of interracial dating or dating or among women. I'm open to all women. You know, I'm just not going to put myself in the same position that what happened 7 years ago, where I end up knocking a lady up again. She ends up getting pregnant, and then now I'm back to phase one, square one, and nothing's being, there's no resolution now, and now I'm repeating the same thing. I don't ever want to repeat the same mistakes that I've done in the past. You got to learn and grow from it, but also you got to grow with your partner if you're going to be committed and dedicated to that relationship. And so, yeah, I'm taking it slow. I am seeing someone at this time, but I'm just taking it slow. Don't want to put myself, on the spotlight what happened 7 years ago. So yeah.
Wow, man. It's, you know, I want to reframe back to you two again too. And in Waterboy too, man. Maybe seek some therapy. I'm glad you found a group of friends that will help you just open up yourself, right? Because you both of you gentlemen will bottle up your feelings, and some women may say, you need to show your feeling. You need to show your feelings. Well, some men when they show no, I said some men when they show their feeling, it's pulling a trigger at yourself or at a school. That's how they show their feeling. That's you're not going to talk about it. And again, don't know this is some men out there that they turn very violent about their feeling. That's how they show their feeling, right? Is pull the trigger at the public because of their anger or whatever they're going through here. But I'm glad you guys has been conscious yourself and becoming better man. I'm working on your purpose. More importantly, uh, I want to get on to more about dating as well too, because again, you talk about interracial dating, dating, and now what about me? I don't know the last time you've been on a date, even.
Man, maybe like I don't know, man. Long.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for? As you know,
I mean,
because women ask like, where do I find these Hmong men, or where like what are we looking for? Well,
the
well,
truth is, the real truth is, like I tell everyone, I just want her to be herself. That's it. Okay, it's so hard for these Hmong ladies. Not when I say Hmong ladies because really it's them because they're not themselves anymore. They see this all these YouTube or all these hip hop stuff, and they're not trying to be who they are. They're trying to be someone else. And when you're trying to be talk, you want to know who they are, not who they're trying to be. You know, that's where we get emotionally attached to you because when you're yourself, you don't have to be someone else when you're with your friends or with your family. I want you to be yourself so I can love you for who you are. You know, and nowadays you can't really find a girl who's really trying to be herself.
cool. You finding your girl at the bar again, cool, or you finding her at church?
No, the one I'm talking to right now, she goes to church, and like I said, the bar scene will always be there. Obviously, if you're looking for a different type of girl there, uh, and I'm not saying that all girls that go to the bars are bad, but when it becomes, a really strong, committed, and you're dedicating yourself to, if I'm dedicating myself to my wife, future wife, and she still wants to, go out and have fun with her ladies, right? There's always that, right? There's always that chance, right? And in most times it does happen, right? They end up, hooking up, or some random guy over there is really interested in her, and goes over there and talks to her. And so, um and I shy away from the bars as much as I can, and I don't want to put myself in, like I said before, the same position of meeting some girls at the bars and expecting that, oh, there's gonna be this level of commitment, this level of, bond, of where, things will end up being long term, which is things could just end up just being short term or just a one night thing. And so, that's not my, that's, I said, that's not my approach, and that's not where I want to be in the same path. I want to put myself in a new path, you know.
So, so what I'm gonna cut into is what
Yeah,
did you look for in a woman then? Because I'm gonna the next
yeah, for
question.
sure.
Yeah, because I'm gonna set up the next question. If you is that this is what you look for women, I'm gonna switch around. What do you think a woman looks for? From a woman's perspective, they look for in a guy too. But answer the first question first. We'll go.
Yeah, for,
Yeah,
for
but cool.
yeah, for me personally, I want a woman that has the same faith as me, right? Because I'm seeking, I go to church, I believe in God. I don't really care too much about uh the Hmong tradition, the shaman stuff. That's not, I don't carry that tradition anymore. I would help out, my family if it needs to be, but that's my number one goal is there. And because I don't want two religions clashing with each other. And that's what also happened in the past as well. And so I don't want to put myself, clashing in on two different religions. We should be following the same destiny, the same religion together, and attending, the same events together. And if there's, I also would want her to be my backbone, especially, when I run my business as well. And I will support her in anything that she wants to do. Obviously, if she does OnlyFans, that's a whole different story, right? So I don't want to date no girl that's in OnlyFans. That's, oh my gosh, I just,
Mhm.
or those TikTok girls. I'm telling you right now, this is getting crazy, man. And so, well, that's a whole different subject. And I don't mind if she's on social media, but if she's on there for, a different, those wrong intentions and wrongdoings, and you are making her your wife, that as a man, that, you know, some guy can just pay for it and get it, and that could be your girl. That's the sad part. That could be your wife. And so, yeah, but that's a whole different topic there. And then you said you want me to answer what women would look for in a guy. Is that
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know? The masculinity and the femininity, man, it's just such a tough society these days, you know. The As a man, we want to show, right, that we can be the leader and we can take charge, right, and we can be, their king, right, and we treat them as they are our queen. Versus if they become very independent because of all the things they went through, right? The amount of trauma, the emotional baggage, and all the stuff that they went through in the past relationships. It gets tough, you know. I've talking to a few independent, independent women that have their own businesses. They don't need a guy for money, right? And but the hard part is they're so stuck in their ways of the decisions and choices that they make, and when they want to wear the pants in the house, now that gets really tricky, right? And I've seen, don't get me wrong, I love a strong, independent woman, but when it comes down to them trying to lead the house, because the men's supposed to be the head of the household and take charge, be provider, be the protector, it gets tough because now the man becomes shrunken down on their roles, and that gets a little bit tough. And so, and I've seen it. I've talked a few, a few at the gym, even just a few out in at the out in public, just meeting them. And it's I hate, it's like how society has portrayed women to, like, be more masculine, but then, like, there's a price to pay when you become more masculine, if you get what I'm saying, because now it's like a big head-on clash with the men. Yeah.
Yeah, these single women are masculine and becoming the man that they want. They become that man.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, and that's probably why they're so single too. But go ahead, Waterboy. I want you to have your own take to this.
I mean, for me, independent woman, I have met a lot of independent women, strong independent women, but it got to the point where like that's our job though. When you're in a relationship, it's about us. Us men who we work, we want to work for them, we want to give them stuff, we want to buy them stuff. But when it gets to the point where the girl say, "I don't need you to buy me all this," I don't need you to do all this, but it's the point that we want to do because we work for it in the time of our hearts. Like, damn, done. We want to shower you with our stuff because you're my queen. But when it's to the point where they're so strong independent, like, I don't really need you to do all that shit. I don't need this, and it's just like, damn, like, I'm building this house for you. Because that's the whole point of being in this marriage. I build this house, you're my queen, you're my backbone, you're my right hand man. We ride and die together, from thick to thin, for sick or poor. But it's some of these independent women ain't trying to do that.
Well,
They're just independent.
Waterboy, is that what they want? Is you to be the beta male or an alpha male, or be the leader? I mean, like I said, what do you think they want?
They want the beta male. They don't want an alpha because they can't handle an alpha because they're gonna fight. It's like when you have two alpha going at it.
Is that all women?
Not all women, some. I ain't gonna say all some because there
Okay.
is some out there who are the one who was like, "Hey, I'll let you do it." But where are they? We've been looking for them, But there's, like I said, there's hope, and there are some out there, but we just gotta put ourselves out there and look for them. But sometimes it's hard to go out there and go looking. So it's like for me, I'm just open to meet them wherever I go. So I like to travel. So wherever I go, wherever I find them, you find them, you find them. You don't.
Well, back to what Ku was talking about is OnlyFans girls or these TikTok girls. I feel what you're saying, Ku, is you, your woman that you're looking for is conservative,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but then again, to you and to you only, you want her to be exclusive to you and exotic to you. Um, showing everything that to you, not to me. Hey, not to Waterboy that we could see, but to you only as a woman.
Right.
Am I correct? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Because the woman shouldn't need to portray her sexual, her sexual desires out in public, right? Her sexual, especially her body, right? If she wants to really sell her body, right? Now she's selling her soul. At that point, when I personally wouldn't feel proud of it if I was a woman, okay? If I was selling my body like that. And by you modeling yourself like that out in public on social media, because social media is big now, you know, you now you're being looked at as a different type of female, right? Because of the promiscuity that you're showing and being promiscuous, right? So when it comes to being in a serious relationship now with whoever the guy that you want to be with, where I mean, this is why this is where I can't wait for you to bring the women on board on this podcast, where I want to hear them, speak for, if they were to really showcase themselves like this, right? On on the sexual desires and sexual behaviors and sexual idealistic ways, does that make them, you know, more valuable when they do want to become in a real serious relationship, when they want to marry a man, and when they do want a man and they want to have a family and have kids? That now, I don't know, that exclusive part that we talk about of them for showcasing themselves, that goes down pretty hard. And if the man actually does find out and already sees that already, that's really tough, and that's really tough, for most guys to even accept that. I mean, that'd be pretty. I mean, like I said, there might be a few guys that are willing to say, you know what, I'll marry a porn star. I'll marry a playboy. I'll marry the finest Instagram model. I don't care what she's been through. I'll still take her. I mean, there might be a few. There might be that 1 to 2% of those guys that are willing to take her, but I don't know. That's the value of that goes downhill pretty quick, and then as the women get older, their beauty goes down. It's not like their beauty goes up, and so that is another factor that you have to think about long term when your beauty goes down. And right, we're all going to have wrinkled faces, right, and gray hair. Where is that going to portray? If you look back, let's say if she's right, top 10 model, OnlyFans, right, becomes an adult star, stripper, whatever, right, all the way throughout, and then when she hits like her 40s, right, or 50s, right, now she wants to have a serious, dedicated relationship with a man. Where is that going to go? I don't know. The chances just get really slim at that point. And at that point, I mean, they probably won't even look for anything, and then that becomes a dead end, because the chances of them having a serious relationship goes down even harder. And versus us guys, we're building, right? We're building our value up, even if we're up to our retirement age. And so it's going to be a big, like I said, I said I would love for the women to come on board on this podcast to really talk about, because this is a big issue that's been ongoing, and now the issue is just getting bigger because of how society is portraying how feminism, and also how women, strong independent women, are trying to take more control than the guys. And that's, there's so much things that can be discussed, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that for a bit.
I wanted to kind of go into this question about that particular women, and this also goes to YouTube boys too. If you have two twin sisters, right? They're
Right.
they're at, let's say, in their late 20s, uh, and this one of her sister was married, divorced. Let's just say 3 kids. She's only with her husband now, her ex husband now. She's single now. But then her other twin sister, yeah, you can say she's pretty much a porn star. I would say that, but no kids though. No kids though. And you have to choose one of these twin sisters. There's no option three, guys. Which would you choose and why?
The one with the kids.
Yep, same here.
The one with the kids, Waterboy?
Yeah, because I had kids. Because you got to remember, this is your second time. Your second time into a marriage. You can't do what you did wrong the first time. And on top of that, you're a lot older, so you don't have time to reteach her how to be a mom to your kid. I can marry the one with the kids, and she's already a mom, so she know her mommy duties, and she know her parts. So it's like when we plug and play, we make a house because I don't have to teach you. I don't have to baby. We're a team together. And when you bring someone who like don't have kids come in, it's hard, because you don't know if they're gonna love them. You don't know if they're gonna treat them right, and you don't know if they're gonna really be there. Like it's like it's a lot of questions. It's in the air.
Cool. What do you have to choose to this?
Yeah, the first one, the lady that has kids, she
Who
has her.
hates
Yeah,
kids?
she's got the responsibility. She's being a mom, not the like the second option where she's showcasing her sexual side and showcasing her body. And I mean, like I said, that's a big turn off for me, and it doesn't bring any value in the relationship. And if in that in that's the same thing. Like if she's like people talk about, it, oh, what if she's the breadwinner though? But she's bringing all the money, right? And I'm like, I don't think I would put myself out in public and be happy or be positive about the relationship that I have if she was an OnlyFans or in an adult film, star, or some high end Playboy model. That I mean, what's the number one thing guys can see, right? Her body, right? It's already there. It's already showcased out in public, and the sexual intimacy and the sexual bondage that you have with your partner should be exclusive. No one doesn't need to see that. No one doesn't need to know about that. That's between you and your partner. That's between your husband, your wife, right, or your boyfriend, girlfriend. If that's going to be long term, should never ever be put on the spotlight for everybody to see. That doesn't bring any value, and it just hurts the women even more for being promiscuous or in being in that sexual on all the sexuality there. So that's a big turn off. And like I said, the first option would be, yeah, I would take the lady that has a kid or two kids, and I have kids of my own, right? And she's raising these kids, she's having the responsibility, she's a single mom. I would take her versus the second option. And like I said, I've already explained a lot about the sexuality part, and that should like I said, exclusive to your partner, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend. So yeah.
I see. So no, 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 none of these only girls fans, none of these
Hell no.
T stars, fellows. According to what you guys are trying to say is, since I won't give you two options, the less body count prefer, and since the first is the only one because she only have one ex husband, you guys would prefer her, and also she has kids. You guys were fine with that too, but not the other single girl. And you mentioned money, which you guys don't care about, correct? Cool.
No,
You don't care about the money. You don't care about her social status, correct?
you're right.
You don't care about how much she makes. You don't care about how high her degree is. But it seemed like, from what you're looking at, is you seem like the first girl has what, maybe a moral, I would say, uh, and more family, right,
Yep.
oriented kind of woman. Since I only gave you two options, versus the second woman, there isn't none of that. Just seems like there's no morals at all. Because I said they're identical twins, right? It's just the only different ones was right divorced, kids, and this one's not never been married, but has been with a lot of different guys. Okay, that sums up that question there, Sue. So that's pretty interesting to hear. I was thinking maybe no, I'll take option two. I don't care about what her past is, but no, it does care to guys. And even Chong, he says kids too as well. So I mean, I'm gonna answer my own question. I will also pick the one with kids as well. I want option three, but I didn't give us option three. I will also
Oh man, I thought you were gonna pick option two. I was like, he's
any
gonna pick
surprise,
this.
guys, that I was gonna pick
Yeah,
option one or no?
yeah. I'm
Because remember, I don't have
surprised.
kids, so you would think no,
No.
Seesaw's gonna pick the girl with no kids. But no, I prefer a woman that's again, I don't care about your money. We don't care about your education. A woman that knows her self worth and been good to a man, but even though it was a divorce. So if it was surprise your question, even though I'm a single guy, I think I'm a single girl. No, actually, I would pick at this choice a woman with the kids. So all right,
No.
that sums a lot of the questions what we go for here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chong as well. He said kids too as well. Kong said, "Loyalty, a woman's past matter to men, and men's future matters to women." I would agree, and this, with Kong being said, that kind of sums up why our questions, our answer, are all the same, right? It
True.
is. It's the
Yeah.
loyalty that's there, because statistic shows that as women, not men, because men and women are not equal. Y'all could fight me at that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as more women sleep with men, their their pair bond is less and less and less and less. And if a woman has slept with a little bitty guy, there's no such thing as pair bond anymore. You're just another guy. You're just another dude. Um, versus the first women, at you'll technically be the second one, will be your potential a lot higher. Do you know these women are to date for long term too? Okay, and so, but Kong's right about loyalty. A woman's past matter to men, and men future matters to women. Oh, moving on, guys. Like, this is super exciting and super, to some it might be news to you guys too. The women would love to hear you chime in as well too. And I wanted to say, guys, moving on forward, you know, um, before that, I'm gonna answer this. What our viewer says is, you're missing the question. It's about the kind of woman men want to marry. Women can do TikTok actually and all that they want. But what I want to say to you two boys was, with the future dating, we'll go back into the dating in a Hmong woman,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you guys are dating only and not interracial now, where do you find the where? How could you find these Hmong women, and where do you find them? If you guys are gonna be looking for them at a church, at a bar.
Facebook, and do you know friends on Facebook? Oh, okay.
I mean, back then we used to go to the New Year's and toss balls, but now it's just like, where do we go? How do you find these?
It's most of it is online now. I mean, Facebook is huge on all these dating apps. I mean, you could instantly message a girl, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all these social media platforms are out there. And the whole texting, right? The whole texting and messaging is huge now. And video chats, video calls. And so I see a lot of that more, versus out in public. I mean, that's if like you really like me personally. If I was on public shopping at the mall or or eating at the restaurant by myself, I see a girl or beautiful lady, right, beautiful woman, and she piques my interest. Obviously, I would go up there and actually try to get to know her. Most cases, right? I mean, most cases, right? I mean, we're talking about Hmong women, right? So chances are most of the time they're probably married. You know, I, and if they're young, they're probably still in high school. And so that like I said, it's a big me personally, it's a big age gap at this point. And you it used to be a lot of out in public meetings, right? A lot of public events where you would go, whether it would be a group of guys or a group of ladies that go for, and they're actually bound to meet someone, right? But the whole internet and social media is so much easier, instant messaging and just on video chatting. And so that's what I see now. And like I said, I'm talking to a few, Hmong women on Facebook, trying to get to know them, trying to feel them out, trying to, pique their interest. But it gets, it's, no, it's just, I just hate, I'm just go back to what, if they're not ready, you just gotta sort fast. You're sorting the process of all these women, right? And you're gonna find one that's gonna be interested in you. You're basically sorting through the process of all the women that you're going through. You know,
What about you, Waterboy?
Shoot, I'm gonna have to be Facebook groups. That's done. Like it's not like how it is back in the days when we could go to the park and go meet people out there, like or go out of the state, go meet. It's just so hard now. So it's like, and good thing with COVID happening, it opened up Facebook up to a whole new way of chatting. So it's like, that opened up to me like a bunch of new people. So it's about networking, working in that world and just meeting new friends and just seeing where you find them. And then
I
you could,
I want to I want to ask you guys this too because you guys are both dads and there's daughters now. What are
Yes.
you going to tell your daughters? Because what Ku and Waterboy was saying, it seemed like some of these women are becoming like the man they want to date. But now we're not talking them going into career. Okay, I'm not. I want to speak to you about what would you tell your daughter to look for in a man for a potential husband. Okay, we're not talking career. We're talking, about marriage. What would you say to your own daughter? Yeah, Waterboy, I'm gonna come to you second. Okay, this is a tough question because
It is a
these
tough
are your
question.
daughter, dude, your kids. I'm gonna
Me,
start with Ku.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Me personally, I have two daughters. And I raised my stepdaughter when she was one. And if when the time comes, right, especially when they're in high school, I wouldn't be surprised in middle school they start dating. Okay, so I started dating in middle school as a guy. So obviously, in throughout the schools that they're going to, it's bound that they're gonna end up liking someone, right? They're gonna end up, might end up dating uh, a guy. But when it comes to them, finally settling down and getting married, I will have a heart to heart talk with my daughters when the time comes. And it sucks. Like you do want the best for your daughters, right? Especially for the fathers that love their daughters, right? That have daughters. It gets tough because you are the role model for them as a man. You are the role model for them as a man because you are, the guy. And so they look up to that and they're like, if my dad is like this, what I want that guy to be just as my dad, but better, right? Or even far more better, and be able to be, to love and care and support each other, you know. And so me being as a role model for my daughters, even though I barely get to see them, I always strive my best to show them positive influence, you know, uh, whether it be through just having fun with them or reading books, right, or playing games, but being able to influence them and guiding them in a positive path, so that when whoever they want to settle with, right, whoever that first guy they're going to get married with and start a family with, that they're gonna be like, what, this is the guy that I really want, and my father's been a role model. He's been showing me, how a guy should be treating, a girl, right? How a guy should be treating a lady. And it comes back to you because you are bringing those traits and personality, your behaviors, your attitude. And when when the time comes, like I said, for me, I'll just have a heart, like a really heart to heart talk with them. And I'm not gonna be really strict about it. I know that, they're gonna experience, you know things at their own ages, right? And I've experienced, my things at my own ages too. And so young age all the way till, when you get married. And it's gonna be, I'm not gonna say it's easy. It will be tough, because you are gonna be engaging in that conversation with your daughters. And you just don't want to. Me personally, I wouldn't put anything negative in that conversation. I support as much as you can, and be there, when times are rough, you know. And so, yeah, that's
What about you, Waterboy?
oh man, I don't have a daughter yet, but I do have a bunch of nieces like I really love. I treat them, I call them my daughters too. But man, my baby girl, I'm like, "Shh, you ain't getting married. You're like, shit, 21, girl. You ain't going to date. But I'm gonna tell her, you know. Be with a guy who like you for who you are and respect you. You know, understand who he is, and as long as you and him are happy, but as we respect each other, I'll be there for him. But I will have to take him on a trip with me and my buddies. You know, if he want to marry me. But I tell her that, you know, not there's a goal. I'm gonna have that talk. Like my sister, she had told me that she gave the talk to her daughter at 9, and I thought about it. Like, damn, man, like what am I supposed to say? Like I'm a father, and hearing what my sister said was like, it's like wow, like I can't really say that to my daughter because I want to love, like you know, like one, like for me, I really want a daughter. Like I really want a daughter. So my family know that. When I have my first daughter, she's gonna be like my diamond. You know, my like nothing can touch her. And but I'm gonna tell her like you're precious. You know, be you. Let them love you who you are. You know, not there's gonna be guys out there who just want some piece of ass. And there's gonna be guys out there who won't be your friend, but you know, always talk to me about it. I want them to always communicate because my I want her to be straight. You know, because it's rough nowadays. How you see all these girls growing up, and you worry about that. Is a question of you. That's what runs through your mind when you have a daughter, and it's hard. Like when my sister talked about her daughter, I cried because like, damn, she's like my daughter too. You know, and it's like, shoot, like how you're learning from this stuff, and it's like, man, I can't wait till I have mine.
Oh, I see. It's I'm gonna chime in on this as well. I don't have kids, but one day when I have a daughter, I'm gonna tell her to look for a character in a man. Okay, the key word is character in a man, not the one with the shiniest Lamborghini, not the loudest guy in the crowd. A guy with good character. That's what I would tell her. And married by no later than 30, man. Married by no later than 30, because that's pretty late to be honest, but no later than 30. Should be married already. That's what I would tell my daughters. Fellas, it's been up to the hour now. It has been enlightenment and awesome talking to you two boys. I appreciate you guys are coming on to talk about your personal experience, your own opinion, your own bias, and sharing that out there. And I look forward for more talks like this. If you want to be on our show, feel free to message me. I would love to have you on and have a chat and give your honest opinion on it as well. Um, just gonna go through some quick questions and then we're gonna sign out because I really appreciate all your time. Kong says men are much weaker now because masculinity is frowned upon with the rise of feminism. That is why men seldomly approach women these days. You're right, Kong. I can't be saying the F word too much here. For for Facebook demotes me here. Saying the F word is already a big problem already. Even on YouTube, saying that word. So, and I highly agree on that too as well. Well, for everybody, y'all been watching Moment Talk. I am your host, Shisa Moa. We're gonna have more relationship and datings talk like this throughout the whole year. It's gonna be very random. So come back, join us, share with us. Today's guest again is Waterboy and Koo. And I appreciate your times, boys. For till then,
Yeah.
peace out. Take it easy, everybody. Bye now.
Right.